You're listening to RTLSA.
You are indeed listening to RTLSA, and we get into Ask Noel Thursday today. Like I said, I've got quite a few questions that have come through. I normally end with Bob the Legend because he always tries to put me in a tight corner, and I suspect that today there will be no difference, and therefore I figured let's start with Bob's question today. Please forgive me for what I'm about to do because I have no idea what's coming my way.
Good morning, RTLSA listeners, viewers, and with my new job, loads more members of the Bob the Legend fan club.
Nice, Bob.
So today is Ask Noel Thursday. Noel,
Yes.
you're a bit of a sociable chap, as we all know, and you perform at many venues, and you also socialise at many venues. Now, when you go to these places, sometimes you will see there are ladies there with whom you've had social interactions, shall we call it. What is the maximum number of such ladies you've ever seen at a venue that you visited or worked at? Bob the Legend, out.
I don't know why I do this to myself. Bubbles, do you really want to compare notes here, son? I remember a specific occasion where we were at a dinner or a birthday party, if I remember correctly, and there were a few of your past interactions there. But let's not make this about you. Let's answer the question. Because I am a brutally honest person, if I remember correctly, there was an occasion when I think it was 7 or 8. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was something like that. Shall we just move on? Why not? Let's go into some questions from Cheryl. Cheryl asked me, if you were given the Aladdin magic lamp for a day and had 3 wishes, what would it be? The only catch is I need to use one for myself. Wow. Okay, well, the wish I would use for myself would be unlimited amount of wishes going forward. I suppose that's cheating, isn't it? No, I don't know. Well, I wish health and happiness for everybody around me. Healing for someone who is really needing it. I don't know. And yeah, maybe unlimited credit card for myself. No limits. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I would go for. Your next question, what is the worst pickup line which actually worked? Hey, you're breaking the rules. It actually worked. Third question, lastly, if you can have dinner with 4 people, present or past, what would you ask them and why? Well, okay, I suppose it would depend on who those 4 people are. And then you went on to ask me, what would I like them to change? So let's have dinner with Adolf Hitler first. And I would ask him what was going through his brain, and I would like him to change his way of thinking. Vladimir Putin would be another one. And definitely. Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson. I mean, I can just name them. And I'd sit down with these people and I'd be like, what the hell were you thinking? Please don't do that. Don't do that again. Yeah, so I think that answers that question. Let's get into a voice note from Charmaine.
I tried my best to get here as soon as possible. Okay, so Arsenal Thursdays, my favorite day of the week. Question 1, Nolsey, if I haven't already missed this. If you forget a thought, where does it go? Question 2, why do we call them buildings when they're already built? And question 3, are we living or are we dying? Have an awesome Thursday.
Good questions, Maine. And I managed to do a bit of research during the show now and got some answers for you. Okay. So your first question, you said if you forget a thought, where does it go? Well, apparently, according to Google, the hippocampus is thought to be the place where some of these memories are first stored. But over time, these memories may then be stored in other parts of the brain, namely like the neocortex. There we go. Straight up answer, factual. I hope that makes you feel cleverer today. More clever. Let's use the English language properly. Why do we call them buildings if they're already built? Well, the reason for that is the act is of building it when the actual work is in progress. Building is a gerund, a noun made from a verb, and any action verb can be made a gerund. Did you know that? There we go. How about them apples? And then your third question was, are we living or are we dying? And I love this question. I really love this question so much. And the best way that I could describe it, I found in a poem, and it was the end of the poem, and it went, from the moment we are given our lives, we are inexorably dying. Okay. And that's quite a big word. I didn't read it properly. But while dying, we are more alive than we will ever be. How does that answer that question? Are we living or are we dying? While we are dying, we are more alive than we will ever be. And I love that line. Thanks for that question, Charmaine. Let's see. Lauren asked, what is your opinion about friends with benefits and when should it stop? It's actually very interesting that you asked that question, because I was having a discussion with someone about this just yesterday, funny enough. And I do not see anything wrong with friends with benefits. I'm not excited about multiple friends with benefits, but if you've got a friend that is willing to scratch your itch and you're willing to scratch their itch, then by all means. But here's the trick. It's got to be an honest relationship. You have to be honest with each other. And when should it stop? Well, firstly, I think if the lines become blurred, that's probably a good time for it to stop. And secondly, definitely if you are moving into a relationship with someone else, then it should stop. But I'm not opposed to friends with benefits at all, as long as it is mutually understood and everybody's on the same page. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of multiple friends with benefits. Have you experienced a friendship breakup? If yes, what did it teach you? Yes, Lauren, I have indeed. And those are some of the worst breakups ever. You know, you can have an intimate breakup and that's quite bad. But when a friendship breaks up, it's rather disappointing and soul destroying. I think the best thing that I could take away from any of these is maybe communication, because I think friendships dissipate over time when distractions come into the friendship, be it a new romantic partner or a misunderstanding with regards to familial affairs or money. Money destroys friendships a lot of the time. So I think communication and honesty in a friendship is the most important thing. And if I've learned anything from broken friendships, it would be that, you know, we lost that communication and we didn't find a way to communicate properly. With that said, however, I also believe that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And sometimes friends are just there for a season, and sometimes friends are just there for a reason, and sometimes they're there for a lifetime. So it really, just depends on where they fall into that category. In a serious relationship, how important is the approval of family and friends? Look, all right, here's the thing. Are you talking about the approval from your partner's family or your family's approval of this relationship? It's a tricky one because family is important. But with that said, when you move away from your family and you start getting into a romantic relationship with someone, I think that your family's approval and your friends' approval is less important than your happiness. However, I think it's important that you take note of what they say. If they disapprove, why? If they have an issue, what is it? And take it under advisement, but figure it out for yourself. I've seen it way too many times in relationships that family affairs really ruin a relationship. So personally, I would think stay away from it as much as possible and focus on what is important, which would be your relationship, your family. And don't take too much advice from other people, regardless of whether they're family or friends. Let's see, I got some more voice notes here. And I see Bob is like really commenting on YouTube saying that I avoided his question. I did not. I gave you a number. I did indeed. Let's see, who have we got here? I got some voice notes from, let's see, Lester.
Ask Noel Thursday. I don't know if I made it in time, but I've got one for you, Noel. If you close your eyes, does it all feel the same?
No, not necessarily. No, I don't think it feels the same because it just depends on how you are seeing it in your mind. It'd be like, yeah, actually, I'm not even going to go into it because I know where you're going with this. But no, I think if you close your eyes, it can feel totally different. Yeah, use your imagination, man.
Ask Noel Thursdays, if I'm still in time. Noel, when normal dogs see police dogs, do they go, oh shit, they're the cops?
I doubt it. I doubt any dog will say, oh shit, period. What a stupid question.
So my question today is, why in China and Japan do they write from right to left, but everywhere else in the world we write from left to right?
I don't know, actually. Look, I mean, let's have a look. Let's see if I can find some. Let's go. All right, let's see. This is interesting. It goes back to the ancient Egyptian days and Greeks, for example, when they were chiseling. They used to hold the chisel in their left hand and hammer in the right. So it would literally, if you look at the camera, it would go dum. Very interesting. That is quite an interesting answer right there. But why do they do it in China and Japan specifically? I suppose that's just the way their language works. I don't know. I will do some more research and look into it. I really don't know. But that one with the chiseling is quite interesting. You know, if it goes all the way back down. And they say later on the Greeks used papyrus to write on, which was what they used before paper. And for some of the reason, they wrote right to left on that as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope that answers your question. And on that note, that's where we're going to leave Ask Noel Thursday today. We'll do it again next week. Thank you so much for your contributions and getting involved and asking the questions. Some of them were a little suspect. I won't mention any names because I've already mentioned it. But for the majority, and I really want to go back to that one question that I got from Charmaine. And I think this is something that we need to learn. Are we living? Are we dying? And we are dying. But we are more alive today than we will ever be. And I think that's how we should live our lives. Live for today and live like you are alive. So, just love that. On that note, that's where we're going to leave it. We're getting to your power play trivia just on the other side of this.
You're listening to RTLSA.